everyone. So today I'm going to make a delicious chicken. This is a super easy recipe. Wear my gloves because I am touching the chicken and I cut up the chicken. It was a whole chicken and I've just cut it up in parts where I have my drumsticks, I have my thighs, I have my breast, and the breast I'm actually gonna cut in half so it could cook faster. And I have my wings. So okay. So as you can see, I have my thighs, I have my drumsticks. This is just you know, I took this off of the wings. I don't know. I just don't like to use this. It don't give flavor, so I leave it here and I save it, put it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag for when I make chicken stock. Okay. And so here are the wings. So I've taken that out. The breast, they are going to cook faster always than the meat that has the bone, as you probably already know. So what I like to do, just so that I don't have like two big breasts as portions, is I like to cut these in half. So make sure you have a sharp knife and just cut through. So now you have two pieces and there's still some bone in there. It's always better to leave the bone on. This one has it as well because it'll just be more flavorful. Don't know why I can't pronounce that word. There we go. So you gotta have a good knife, or at least a knife that you can sharpen. So here it is, and I have left most of my skin on. I mean, this one barely has skin, but I've left all the skin. I did rinse the chicken when I took it out of the bag that it came in, and with a little bit of water and vinegar. I always do that. I just like to do that. So what I have here on the side is just a cookie sheet that I have lined with paper towel, and this is because I want my chicken to be completely dry before I start cooking it. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go ahead and just put the chicken on here just to dry it out. You can see, because if your chicken is wet, then you're gonna have trouble searing it. You're gonna have trouble getting that color that we like the chicken to cross. So you don't want any water on the chicken. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna make sure everything is dry, and then I will show you how we're gonna season it and start cooking it. Okay, you guys. So we're gonna get ready to cook this chicken, and while my pot is heating up, and I'll show you my pot here in a minute, I just wanna give you a little bit of backstory on this chicken. My mom actually used to make this chicken all the time when we were growing up at home. And it always amazed me how delicious it was. And so I started making it myself, you know, when I left the house, when I got married and my kids started growing up. So I always, when I was looking for something different to do with the chicken, because, you know, you can get tired of making the same recipes with chicken, I would always, this is my go-to. So when I want to make something, make a chicken just like really flavorful and easy and fast, and I know that everyone's gonna like it, just make this chicken. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a backstory on that. And so it's super, super simple, and I'm happy to share the recipe or the technique with you, pretty much, because it's really basic, not even a recipe as far as I'm concerned. So let me show you my pot. So I'm gonna change my camera so you can see. Let me bring it a little closer for you guys. Okay, so this is my pot. This is probably the biggest pot that I own. So I take it out for just a few recipes, and this is one of them. So you want it to be a pretty high pot, or if you have a cast iron skillet, cast iron skillet or a cast iron pan that's high as well, and that you have a lid that goes with it, that's also really great. So here's my lid, okay? Because initially we're gonna cook this at high heat without a lid, but then we're gonna finish it up, you know, with the lid on. So anyways, let me show you how simple this is. Now you are gonna need about a stick of butter. Okay, this is, I eyeball it. This is almost a stick of butter. I think it's missing like a tablespoon or so. I'm not gonna put the butter in there all at once because I wanna make sure that I have a good amount of butter, but not so much. The butter's gonna give it the flavor. This is what's mostly gonna give the flavor. So we have butter as the first ingredient, and I have my pot on high so that it can start heating up. The other ingredient, which I'm gonna season the chicken with, is granulated garlic. I'm gonna use some salt. The amount of salt that you wanna use is gonna depend on the next ingredient. So my mom always used to make it, or always makes it, with soy sauce, okay? I usually get the less sodium soy sauce because the regular one is just way too salty, in my opinion. So even though I have the less sodium one, or if you have the less sodium one, you're still gonna want to make sure that it's not too salty. So I am gonna use some of this today, but my new favorite is this coconut aminos, okay? Not this specific brand, just any brand. This one just happens to be the one I found. It is very, very similar to soy sauce, but it is not as salty as soy sauce. And I'm pretty sure I've said that to you guys before. It's not as salty as soy sauce, so I'm gonna use a combination of both because this really is gonna give it, this is what's gonna give it the most of the flavor, but I don't wanna use a whole lot of soy sauce, so I'm going to complement it with some of this. But by all means, the original recipe, the way my mom has always made it, is just with soy sauce. All right, so the chicken, as you saw before, I put it on this tray and I made sure that it's completely dry because I had rinsed it, okay? So I'm just gonna lightly salt the chicken with a little bit of pink salt. And you wanna start out with your skin down on the chicken. Okay. Get a fork. And my pot feels very hot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with about a half of this stick of butter. Okay, so when you put the butter in there, it's gonna do that, okay? It's gonna smoke up. Whoa, you guys. We really are cooking here. So it's gonna smoke up a little bit because the pan is really hot. And it's gonna get brown, so you're gonna get like this brown butter, which is flavor. So I don't want it to burn. I just took it off the burner for a minute and I lowered the heat a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our chicken that has the bone in it because this is gonna take longer, okay? So skin side down. Oops. If you can hear it, it's already like jumping up and down. I'm gonna have to wash my hands later. Putting in now the drumstick. I'm gonna put in my wings. And as soon as this chicken hits, as soon as that butter starts browning up, oh boy, the smell is just amazing. So I'm gonna put a little bit more butter. So right now I'm at about a half a stick of butter. And don't be afraid, it's gonna smell like it's burning because butter burns very, very fast. But as long as you control the heat, you're fine, okay? So this pot is big enough so that all of my chicken is touching the bottom of the pan. So that's really important. So now the last pieces I'm gonna put in are the breasts of the chicken. Since I have all my chicken in there now, I'm gonna go ahead and crank it up again because now I know that it's, you know, the temperature automatically is gonna go down once you put all that chicken in there. And you know what? I forgot to put the garlic powder, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot of the granulated garlic as it's in the pan. I'm gonna have to flip it anyway. This side didn't have any salt. So we're gonna do that. Okay. come back and show you in a little bit. I'm gonna keep it at high heat. I'm gonna show you how it looks before I turn it. Turn it over to the other side. Okay, so this is what the chicken is gonna look like. I left it on high heat, and as you can see, the butter has browned it. And this happened really quickly, 2 to 3 minutes, so you don't want to walk away. And then you just flip your chicken over. And if you haven't seasoned that side, then you would season it with a little bit of salt and the granulated garlic. And you want to keep it on high. And I haven't added any more butter, so that's about a half a stick of butter. I may add a little bit more butter. I'm going to continue to cook it this way. So the other side of the chicken will get brown as well. It's actually almost there. So we're going to use our soy sauce. I still have it at almost, high heat. So this is just, I'm just going to eyeball it. It's going to depend on how you want it to taste. I'll try about a tablespoon or so of soy sauce. I'll put a little bit more. And then I'm going to use a little bit of coconut aminos. And this is just going to give it a little bit of a sweeter taste. I think that was about 2 tablespoons. And then you want your chicken to cook all the way through, so you're going to want to, at this point, since your chicken already has that great color on both sides, I'm going to show you the other side of one of these so that you can see. See, both sides are nice and seared. So now what you're going to want to do is you want to lower the heat, not to all the way to low, but to maybe medium, low, and then you want to cover your chicken. Now my top of this pot has a valve, I guess is what you call it, and you can close it all the way, or you can open it, leave it open. I'm gonna put it halfway because I want the chicken to cook all the way through, and I want some steam in there to cook it, but I don't want it to completely, get soggy or anything like that. So I'm going to leave it halfway open. If you don't have that, then you want to put your pot like this, your top like this, halfway. So I'm going to just go ahead and cover it. I'll come back and show you once it's done. Okay, you guys, so I want to show you, this chicken has been cooking for about 15 minutes, not even, maybe 10, 12 minutes. And look at the color on that chicken. It smells amazing. And you can see the butter. So I haven't added any more butter. Here's the rest of the butter. I haven't added any more butter. So I used about a half a stick of butter. Okay? And there's still a good amount of fat, because when you think about it, this chicken that has the bone and still the skin on it, that's going to render out fat as well. So you're not going to need a whole stick of butter unless you're making 2 chickens, or unless your chicken is bigger than this one. So I just want to kind of show you. It's not done yet, and it's going to take about another 15 to 20 minutes. Keep in mind that, again, the temperature of the chicken has to be at a specific degree. If you're not sure, you want to use a thermometer, okay, to make sure your chicken is cooked all the way. The chicken parts with the bone are going to take longer. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to you once it is completely done. All right, welcome back, you guys. So the chicken I covered after you last saw it, and I put the I put my stove on very low heat and I just let it cook for like another 10 minutes without taking off the lid, okay? And so now what I'm doing is I took my thermometer and I'm checking every single piece of chicken because again, remember I said, you know, we already know that the chicken that has the bone takes longer to cook. So I've checked all of my pieces, even the biggest pieces, which are the thighs, and the one that has the most bone, and they are at 170, okay? And that is well done for chicken. And that's what you want. So if you're not sure, I mean, I could tell that it was done, but if you're not sure, or if this is like your first time cooking chicken like this in a pot, then you wanna, you know, use your thermometer. I mean, invest in one of these. They're not really a lot of money. So you see, I don't know if you can see, but it's at 170. I'll take a shot of it and show it. So this chicken is completely done, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. And if you're not gonna eat this right away because, you know, maybe you made it earlier in the day and your family's gonna eat it later, you can just, you know, you can put it in the oven. My oven has a setting that says keep warm. And you wanna put it like on the lowest, like mine goes down to 145 to 150. And you can just cover it and leave it in the oven to keep it warm for when you're ready to serve it. But it's all done. So I hope you guys try this recipe. I hope you like it. If you do, let me know in the comment below if you liked it, and I hope that you do. I know you do, and it's super, super easy recipe. Don't forget, if you haven't, if you're watching my videos and you enjoy videos like this, to like the video, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you find out every time I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.